İMEAK Deniz Ticaret Odası Başkan Yardımcısı Şadan Kaptanoğlu, BIMCO Başkan Adayı sıfatıyla Çin'in Şangay kentinde düzenlenen BIMCO Şangay Konferansı ve Ödül Töreni'ne katıldı.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasure for me to be here. Well, this is a very hard question, I have to say. It's not because of there are plenty of answers, but I have to say that there is no good there is no good answers in a way, because we have to be very, very careful. Now we are entering a regulatory era that we never experienced before. And we talk about the ballast water. Well, I think ballast water is the most, I don't want to call it, but simple one. And I don't want to say it as a youngster say wait till 2020 and see it, you know. And because it is only getting more complex. Shipping is known as an industry always comply with the regulations. But this time we have a series of regulations that after 100 years that the basics of our industry will be challenged. At least there is a very big possibility that the basics of our industry will be challenged. And this will start with the 2020 sulfur regulation. And of course we will be, there is a lot of things that we need to be very careful. Let's start with the operational stuff, and in the operational aspect of it, that the ship owners should train their crews, need to review their guidelines, and there are still bits that we are not sure. So every other player in our ground needs to do their work. Such, for example, if you arrive at port and there is no compliant fuel, what are you going to do?
That's right.
So we are waiting an answer from IMO for that, or we are calling all the port states for a robust controls. Why? To keep the level playing field. And also we need other small things that we think as a ship owner might be small, but with the change of a compliant fuel, it will become difficult. So the fuel management and the quality of the fuel will become, and also the finance of the fuel will become something totally else. Why I am just going to directly to this operational thing? Because when you look at our industry in general, you see a tendency, and almost I can say a majority, decision by majority, that the industry will be using compliant fuel. There are other, commercial options, that is purely commercial options, but even if we all decide to take other commercial options, practically it is impossible from now on to use these options. So it is obvious that we have to focus on the compliant fuel and the aspects of it. So these are the first obstacles that we have to overcome. Usually, since I'm a president of Designe, I don't like to talk about my company. But I think I can talk about my own experience. And as a person who happens to operate vessels in ECA zones, I can say that it is a great experience, but the first 6 months is very, very challenging. Very challenging. So even if you are the best ship manager, operator, I strongly suggest all my fellow ship owners and managers that they must be very, very careful. And they must train their crew over and over and over again. And so does their office staff as well. And I would like to continue with the greenhouse emissions, but if you want, we can just continue this later on.
Okay, let's move to the next section. Ms. Hashim, Can you share with us your... well, I would like to move to the next question. I think, Alice, you mentioned when asking you the two-tier market, you're saying it's probably more from commercial aspects. So I would like to ask Dr. Şadan, from industry's perspective, I mean, what do you think the commercial impact of the sofa recap?
Well, I think we will see a lot of changes. And there is a possibility that we have to also face with the commercial challenges of it as well. There we can always discuss, and there is a possibility of a second-tier market, which usually, you know, from an industry point of view, we would like to keep the level playing field, and we would like to see the free trade going, so we can be the servant of the, trade and do our jobs. So, as I said at the beginning of my speech, that this is now everything is challenged. So we have to maybe redefine all these concepts, and unfortunately, a bit of it we will go through and see. What I can say on behalf of BIMCO, on the way we will do our best to stand behind the ship owners as the biggest single entity organization of the ship owners. But some of them, I am very sorry, right now we do not have the solutions. And we will see it all together and develop the solutions all together as well.
Maybe China in this area, that means the energy fuel vessel will be more commercial variable compared with current situation.
Understand. Well, I think I understand there are around 300 ships now is powered by LNG, dual engines. Only your annual consumption around 400,000 tons. So it's relatively small. But also this is before the launch of the CMA ships, right? They were bigger container ships with bigger LNG tanks. But anyway, I think this is one possibility. I don't understand. BIMCO is working on LNG bunkering clauses, and also I think there is oil majors. They are trying to establish a network for LNG bunker supply, because you need a ship, you need a supply to make the work. These are market informations. Now, talking about energy, of course, energy may resolve the sofa issue, but it still burns and creates greenhouse emissions, gas emissions. So it's not a sort of like a perfect solution in a way. I think I need to move on to discuss another challenge, the greenhouse gas emissions. So I'd invite Dr. Şadan to say things about this.
Let me, before I go to greenhouse gas emissions, only one comment regarding the LNG. LNG is only the one part of it. As I said before, decarbonization is the ultimate, aim of the, so the shipping will be ultimately away from the, any oil product bunkering, which means that LNG is one of them, and there are other alternatives. And the risk is that then we will be talking about not a very, common based numbers and indexes when it comes to the price of the. I don't know even if we call them bunkers. Are we going to call them something else? So fuel, exactly. So that's why we say that this, it is 2020, and it is just the beginning of something much more complex. So we have to, follow everything very carefully. Regarding the greenhouse gas emission, compared to this, then the sulfur clause is a much more clear task, I have to say. Let me start saying this, that IMO will be starting the fourth study regarding this, and we just announced that as BIMCO that we want these studies to be based on better assumptions, especially regarding the GDPs, and we suggest that the OECD numbers will be much better. Because, for example, when we did this with the Delft consultancy, we took the third IMO report, and actually, insert the GDP numbers by the OECD, and the forecast we say was much more sensible. I am not saying that we are catching the number of 50% by 2050, but we see much realistic numbers. So what I am saying is, first of all, whatever we're going to do, this must be based on realistic assumptions. And then, of course, whatever we do, again, the regulation must be, for sure, transparent, harmonized, and applicable to all vessels. This is also very important. And also, we have to see this as in a way, energy design index and ship energy efficiency management plan attachments, instead of just coming out with something totally new. And I think what I can say, when we also run this DAF study, that we see that we have to do more and we need new solutions, for sure. And we've been working with, among the BIMCO about new solutions. But again, I have to emphasize that the assumptions are very, very important, and everybody must press on this.
Yes, that's right.
We analyze our whole fleet.